Welcome back to 242 Math. I am your host, Raphael Thompson, and today we will be doing BGCSE Revision Mathematics Test 3. Remember, we have started off easy for you, and as we go along, the questions will get a lot harder. But if you get 90 to 100% on these tests, then you're looking to get an A, B, or C on the BGCSE exams. Today, this will be our student. Introduce yourself for us.
My name is Precious. I am a private student prepping for the BGCSE exam.
Very good. Number 1, read it for us, Precious.
Identify the irrational number in this set.
Okay, and you have the fraction, 2/3, 0, -5, pi, and square root of 9. One of them is an irrational number. Precious, work it for us.
In this set of numbers, the irrational number would be pi.
Okay, so write your answer. Okay, that's correct. Pi would be the irrational number. And you can remember from the previous lesson where we spoke about irrational numbers, if you're finding the square root, notice the square root of 9 isn't irrational. Why? What's the answer for square root of 9, Precious?
3.
3. So that's not an irrational number. If you can find the square root of the number like that, then it's not irrational. If it is any other square root, then it would be irrational. Okay, Precious, go ahead. Let's find the square root of a number.
So we're going to do the square root of 2.
Right. There you have it. 1.414213562. Notice, no repeating, but they go on and on and on without repeating. That's an irrational number right there. Let's do another one, Precious. Take that off. Do pi.
Pi 22 divided by 7.
3.142857143, on and on and on without repeating. There you have it. Those would be your irrational numbers. Okay, thank you very much.
Evaluate 0.1324 divided by 5.238. Write your answer correct to 2 decimal places.
Okay, Precious, you can work it for us on the calculator.
0.1324 divided by 5.238 equals.
Okay, write that for us and then we'll work it from there. Go ahead, you can write it.
0.025276,823.
Okay, let me bring it over. Okay, go ahead, Precious. Now you have to write your answer correct to 2 decimal places. That's important. Go ahead.
If we look at the 2 numbers that's after the decimal, we'll have 0.02. However, the number that comes after the 2 is 5 or greater than 5. We would have to make the 2 go up 1 on the 2, which will give us 3.
Okay, that's perfect. So because you have 5 or more at the back of that 2, you add a 1 to the 2 to make it 0.03. Notice she put all the rest of the digits in. You can't leave any of them out at the front. 0.0, and then you change the 2 to a 3. Very good. Okay, person number 3.
Express 75 as a product of its prime factors.
Okay, let's work it. Go ahead.
To be able to express 75 as a product, we're going to create a table. I'm going to put the number 75 at this table, and I'm going to start with the lowest prime factor, which is 3 for this in this case. Okay? 3 goes into 7 twice, remainder 1, so that's 15, and that's 3 goes into 15, 5. Okay. 3 cannot go into 25 anymore, so we'll go to the next prime factor, which will be 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times.
Put a line straight under it, right?
Okay. Now we can also use 5 again because it can go into itself 1 time. So my prime factors would be 3 times 5 squared, or you can write it as 3 times 5 times 5.
Excellent. Okay, so notice the prime factors would be 3 and 5, so it's 3 times 5 squared, or 3 times 5 times 5. Multiply them back and you get 75. Okay, number 4, go ahead, Precious.
Mike is 5 feet 6 inches tall. His visa application form for the American Embassy requires that the height be given in centimeters. Give Mike's height in centimeters. Use 10 centimeter equals 4 inches.
Okay, so Mike is 5 feet 6 inches tall. You want to give his height in centimeters, and they gave you the formula. 10 centimeters is 4 inches. Precious, what are you going to do first?
We have to convert the 5 feet into inches.
Right.
We ask ourselves, how many inches is in 1 foot?
Right.
In this case, 12 inches equals 1 foot.
Right.
We need 5 feet. We simply multiply 12 by the 5, which will give us 60 inches.
Right. Very good.
Okay? Now we're not done because we have to find centimeters.
Right.
Now we know that 10 centimeter equals 4 inches.
Okay.
Now we have the 60 inches. We're going to add the 6 inches. We take the 60 inches, add the 6 inches. This will equals to 66 inches.
Good.
Now, 10 centimeters is equals to 4 inches. We take the 4 inches and divide it into the 66 inches. Okay, so we're going to type in our calculator 66 divided by 4, which will give us 16.5. However, we're not done. We're going to multiply the 16.5 by the 10, which will give us 165 centimeters. Final answer.
Very good, Precious. Okay, so use of the calculator, she broke it down. She got the 66 divided by 4, 16.5, and then you still have to multiply that by 10 to get your final answer, and the answer is 165 centimeters. Let's move on to number 5.
Ray earns $700 a week. A holiday weekly loading of 17.5% of 4 weeks regular pay is applied to it. Calculate his total pay for 4 weeks.
Okay, work it.
We can see that Ray earns $700 a week. For 4 weeks, we will multiply that. If we move to the calculator, 700 times 4 is $2,800. A holiday weekly loading of 17.5% is applied to it. What is 17.5 of this $2,800? We'll move to the calculator.
Write it first. 17.
Okay, percent, we could also rewrite that as 17.5 divided by 100 times 2,800 over 1.
Okay.
We will multiply it across 17.5 times 2,800 divided by 100. The $490 is applied to it. We will then take the 2,800 and add it to $490. If we move to the calculator and add 2,800 plus 490, this will give us a total of $3,290.
With the dollar sign. Excellent job. Number 6. Go ahead, Precious.
If x equals 2 times 10 to the negative 3 power and y equals 4 times 10 squared, calculate xy in exponent form.
Go ahead, work it.
Xy is x times y. X is equals to 2 times 10 to the negative 3 power, and y is equals to times, because it's x times y, 4 times 10 squared.
Right.
I like to put my whole numbers together, 2 times 4. So I'll say 2 times 4 times 10, seeing that we have we don't have to write 10 twice. 10 to the negative 3. And because our base are the same, we add our exponents. Negative 3 plus 2.
Very good.
Okay? 2 times 4 is 8 times 10. You can rearrange this and put it as 2 minus 3. That way you see it a lot easier. 8 times 10 to the negative 1.
Very good. Also, they could use the calculator. And use the calculator, Precious. Let's type in 2 minus 3 so they can understand. If they run into problems, you can use the calculator. Okay, go ahead, type it in.
2 minus 3, which will give you negative 1.
Perfect. Very good. Number 7.
Evaluate 3 squared times 81 raised to the power half.
Go ahead, work it.
3 squared, which is simply 3 times 3, is equals to 9. Times 81 raised to the power of half. Because this is raised to a fraction, in this case half, we can write this as a square root of 81.
Right.
This is the same thing as 81 and a half because the power for 81 in this case is 1 and the square is 2. Okay? So we know that the square root of 81 is 9. Now we say 9 times 9 is equals to 81.
Okay, and that's your final answer. Okay, so 3 squared is 9, and the square root of 81 is 9 as well. So 9 times 9 is 81. Very good, Precious. Let's move on to number 8.
If y equals matrix 4, 2, 5, 2, calculate the determinant of matrix y.
Very good. You're calculating the determinant. So those two, the y with the symbol like that means the determinant. Go ahead, Precious. How would we calculate the determinant of matrix y?
We start by drawing an x.
Very good.
We will start with 4 times 2, which will equals 8. Next, we move to the 5. 5 times 2, which is 10. Sorry. Now, we subtract. 8 minus 10 will equals negative 2.
Good.
Therefore, the determinant of matrix y is equals to negative 2.
Very good, Precious. Now we move on to number 9. Okay, Precious, read number 9.
Simplify this expression 4a plus 5 minus 3a minus 3.
Okay, go ahead.
We want to place the like terms together. 4a minus 3a plus 5 minus 3.
Very good.
4a minus 3 is just a or 1a. Plus 5 minus 3 will give us positive 2.
Okay,
So our final answer would be a plus 2.
Very good. Number 10, Precious, read it. So,
Factorize this quadratic expression, x squared plus 6x plus 5.
okay, let's go ahead and work it.
We ask ourselves, what two numbers can we multiply that will give us 5 but add to 6?
Right.
Okay? In this case, it's 5 and 1.
Right.
So we will write x plus 5
Right.
times x plus 1.
Very good. Okay, so that's it. You just want the factors of that expression, and that's how you write it in brackets, x plus 5 and then x plus 1. 5 times 1 is 5, and then 5 plus 1 is 6. Excellent. Number 11, let's go, Precious.
Solve 1 minus a less than equal to a minus 1.
Okay, let's go ahead and work it in equality.
I like to put all of my numbers on one side and my letters on the other side. So in this case, we would write, let's write it over, right? 1 minus a less than equal to a minus 1. Numbers on one side, letters on one side, negative a. Because this a is positive, when we bring it over to the other side, it will be negative a.
Very good.
Less than equal to negative 1. Because this is a positive 1, when we bring it over, it will be negative 1.
Right.
Now we can simplify. Negative a plus negative minus an a will just give us negative 2a less than equal to negative 2.
Good.
Okay, now the a is not isolated, so we will divide by negative 2 on both sides, leaving us with a greater than equal to 1.
Very good, Precious. Notice at the end, she had to turn the sign. It won't be less than equal to, it'll be greater than or equal to. Once you divide by a negative number, she had to divide by negative 2. Number 12. Excellent.
Transpose the following equation for y. X plus y equals 5.
Okay, what does transpose mean?
The term transpose means that we must find the subject. X plus y equals 5. We must
Right.
make y the subject.
Right.
X is being added to our y. The inverse of that would be to subtract x on both sides, leaving us with y equals 5 minus x.
Okay, and that's it. As simple as that. You want to make y the subject when you transpose it, so you get y is equal to 5 minus x. Very good. Let's move on to number 13. Number 13.
Solve the quadratic equation x squared plus 5x plus 4 equals 0.
Okay, go ahead.
We ask ourselves, what two numbers will give us 5? In this case, 4 and 1.
Correct.
Okay, so we will write x plus 4 times x plus 1. We must also equal each one of these to 0.
Right.
X plus 4 equals 0, or x can also be equals x plus 1 equals 0.
Right.
We must solve now. Subtract 4. X will be equal to negative 4, or subtract negative 1 here. X will be equal to negative 1.
Okay, your pen is running out.
Candace.
Okay, Precious, go ahead, write it so we can see it. Just write over what you have.
Okay. X is equals to negative 4, or x is equals to negative 1.
Very good. That's it. Number 14.
Calculate the product x plus 2 times x plus 3.
Okay, let's work it. Go ahead. Write it again and then work it.
X plus 2 times x plus 3. X times x, x squared,
Right.
plus x times 3 is 3x,
Very good.
plus 2 times x is 2x, plus 2 times 3 is 6. 2x plus 6.
Good.
Now we can put the 3x plus 2x together,
Right.
because they are like terms. X squared plus 5x plus 6.
Very good. That's your final answer. Excellent. Number 15.
Given that g of x equals 2x plus 1, find g of 0.
Okay, so we're working with functions. Go ahead, Precious. Let's work it.
2x plus 1. We must find g of 0, which means we must place x with 0. 2 times 0 plus 1. 2 times 0 is just 0 plus 1 would just be 1.
Okay, and that's your final answer. So write it again. Put g of 0 is equal to 1 as a final answer. G of 0 is equal to 1. Very good. All right, Precious, let's do number 16.
Find y. As we can see, if we extend this line out and this line here out, we can clearly see by the marks here that they are parallel lines, which is cut by this line known as a transversal. The angle here corresponds with angle x. So now we know that angle x is equals to 46 degrees. The diagram also tells us, based on these lines, that this triangle is called an isosceles triangle, which means that this angle here is also 46 degrees. We know that angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. To find angle Y, we will add angle X with 46 degrees. So we'll say 46 degrees times 2, which will give us 92 degrees. We will subtract that 92 degrees from 180 degrees, which will be 88 degrees. Y will now be equals to 88 degrees.
Okay, excellent job. Very good. Number 17.
Find vector CB in terms of vector A and B.
Okay, go ahead. How are we going to work it?
It's important for us to find vector CB.
Right.
And drawing the arrow to show the direction between the tail, the head and the tail.
Right. So which one is the tail?
The tail is C.
Right. Okay. So
the
go ahead.
head is B.
Right.
We will start from the tail.
Right.
Now as we move down, we can see that the B is going in the opposite direction of our tail.
Right.
Which will make this negative B.
Very good.
If we move this way to our head, we can see that the A is going in the same direction, which will give it a positive A.
All right, so put vector CB to the front, right? Vector CB to the front of it.
Vector CB
is
equals to negative B plus A.
There's another way to write it.
Okay. So we can have A minus B.
Very good. Okay, so you want to fix it at the end. Don't put the negative at the front. So it's A minus B. And that's it. Number 18. Go ahead, read it.
In grade 11 at the Preston Albury High School, 9 students study physics and 10 study chemistry. If 3 students study physics and chemistry, complete the Venn diagram indicating the number of students who study none of these subjects if there are 20 students in the class.
Very good. Now you're going to have to draw your Venn diagram first. Go ahead, Precious. Draw the Venn. Okay.
Okay. U will represent our universal.
Right.
And we have to put the intersectional. This will be those who do both physics and chemistry.
Very good. Go from there now.
Okay. I like to start from inside and work out. So I'm going to look at the students that do both physics and chemistry. In this case, if 3 students study physics and chemistry, so it tells us that 3 study physics and chemistry. So we're going to put 3 in here.
Very good.
We're going to move to the physics. In this case, 9 students study physics.
Right.
We subtract 3 from the 9, giving us 6.
Very good.
We're going to move to the chemistry, and 10 study chemistry.
Right.
We subtract 3 from the 10, leaving us with 7.
Very good.
Now, the number of students who study none of these subjects, none of these subjects, if there are 20 students in the class. So the important information is that there are 20 students in the class.
Right.
We subtract, when we add up this total, which is 6 plus 3, which is 9, plus 7, which is 16. We're going to subtract 16 from 20. So 20 subtract 16, which will give us 4. We will now put 4 on the outside of our Venn diagram.
Very good. So that would be what they asked for, to show how many students do not study physics or chemistry. Excellent. We move on to number 19. Go ahead, Precious. Number 19.
Find the area of the shaded region.
Again, we have to use pi is equal to 3.14. What are we going to work first?
We want to find the area of the triangle. The formula for the area of the triangle is half times base times height.
Right.
Half times our base, which is 15,
Right.
times our height, which is 12.
Right.
We'll move to the calculator and say half, or 0.5,
Right.
times 15 times 12 will give us a total of 90 centimeters
Area?
squared.
Very good. Okay, next.
The formula to find the area of a circle is pi times r squared. 3.14, which is pi, times 3 squared is 3.14 times 9.
Okay.
3.14 times 9, which gives us a total of 28 centimeters squared. Now they asked to find the area of the shaded region. We have the total amount of the triangle, and we also have the area of the circle.
Right.
Now we will subtract from the triangle, 90 centimeters squared, we will subtract the circle, 28.26. We go back to our calculator. 90 minus 28.26 will give us a total of 61.74 centimeters
And put this square.
squared.
Very good. That's it. So you find the area of the triangle, which is 90 centimeters, square centimeters, and the area of the circle is 28.26 square centimeters. Subtract the triangle from the circle from the circle from the triangle, and you get 61.74 square centimeters. Very good. Move on to number 20. Okay, final question. Go ahead, Precious.
How many days did it take the pea plant to reach 4 inches?
Okay, so we have the height of a pea plant, and we have the days at the bottom on the horizontal axis, and the vertical axis shows the height in inches. Okay, go ahead, Precious, how would you work it?
The height of the plant is 4 inches. We will move to the horizontal axis and find where this graph meets the 4 inches mark line. If we draw right here, right in the middle,
Right, perfect.
between 10 and 12, this tells us that approximately it took 11 days.
Very good. And it's as simple as that. Okay, so you draw it down on the horizontal. It's halfway between 10 and 11. That's 12. 10 and 12, that's 11 days. Very good.
Thank you for watching the BGCSE Test 3. Please give this video a thumbs up. Turn on the notification bell, comment and subscribe, and see you in the next one. God bless you.
That's a wrap.